It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the current meta, the state of things with Amira that we're seeing a ton of. She is becoming as popular as Dante once was. We've got two fantastic situations for you that I want to show off from our guild leader, Raven, showing that you don't need maxed heroes. In fact, you don't even need 5 heroes to counter some of the teams like this. Now, unfortunately, the heroes that we're going to be using in this situation are banned in Cosmic Battle, so this isn't a great Cosmic Battle team discussion video, but I do want to show you what I would like to call the holy trinity of physical and control, and that is these 3 bad boys right here. Now, the team on the right might not be the most optimized that you might see as far as an Amira team is concerned, but when you see an Amira in the middle there, and a lot of teams are using Polaris or Heidi, the Heidi version, you probably want to go with the other team that I'm going to show you instead. But if you don't have any frontline pressure like this, and anytime you really see Celeste on the enemy team, or Celeste and Polaris, you really can go crazy with Isaac Tank. So I'm going to show you this fight. These 3 heroes, you know, Sebastian and Isaac are probably the first 2 heroes that everybody should level up. But man, you have this situation here. We have Lara Croft, who does great damage, great physical damage, and she does a little bit of control to the midline. And this is just a fantastic outcome. I love seeing new heroes being used. You know, Amira, Nebula, Polaris is pretty good. You can use a couple of different versions to, you know, really counter this team. But having Celeste, a Nebula boosted Celeste, targeting your Isaac as a tank means Isaac is going to just spam his ults, and you got to kill Amira before she kills you. The big thing about Lara Croft is she's really good at, you know, targeting that midline. So there you go, 3 versus 5, a pretty solid opportunity there. I really like it. I think this is a core that I will be using a lot in the future, and you can see the obvious counterplays here with Sebastian and Isaac, but Lara Croft really going for the middle. Now, an alternative that you might see a lot of, we still have the Amira, Nebula, Polaris situation here, but they throw in Dante, and I'm not really sure why they use Dante in this situation, but, you know, whatever. I guess, you know, it is what it is. The problem with Dante being here is he's not really boosted by anybody, so he's more of a support hero in this instance. Dante really needs Nebula or a critical hit hero like Sebastian or Jet or Fafnir to improve his damage output, because by himself he really doesn't do much. And you can see here he does less than 1 million damage. That's just how good it is. This is a great Trinity team also a very fantastic core that a lot of people should be using. You just really want to be mindful using Aurora Celeste against Isaac. Obviously you wouldn't want to do that, but this is a very similar outcome to the previous video that I showed you, the previous clip that I showed you, and the idea behind it is that Aurora does incredible amounts of damage to the core of the enemy team very quickly, and you have a hero, Dante, here that's causing her to ult a lot. So the premise is the same. You want to get a hero that does a lot of damage to the midline where that Amira is hiding, right? That Amira is hiding in that second position. Obviously, she's not going to be a tank. If we're talking like an Amira Aiden team, like where Amira's tanking, that's obviously a different lineup altogether. But if Amira is hiding in that midline, or Amira Heidi is in that midline, or here in this case Amira Nebula Polaris are in that midline, you get something that can ult a lot, like that Isaac that I showed you in the last clip. And the really cool thing about Aurora is this ascension ability that she has. The crystal lasts for 3 seconds. Each time the rainbow halo explodes, an additional explosion occurs around the crystal, right? That does a lot of damage to that midline, magic damage to the enemy midline. So you spam ult, do a lot of damage to the midline. No surprise here, you adding in Heidi. Heidi has his ult that does the poison damage bloom, the pure damage bloom in the center line as well. And unfortunately we do lose Celeste in this line, so it isn't a true dominant 3 versus 5, but it is sometimes you get a little lucky with Dante. But yeah, the high damage without really being able. So this is the thing that I'm talking about. Dante doesn't have a lot of damage support here. There's no armor penetration artifacts, there's no critical hit boosting artifacts. Nebula is not boosting him, Fafnir, Jet, none of that is boosting him. So he's not able to one-shot Celeste or anybody really. Maybe you got a little bit lucky with the dodges with Aurora and Heidi, but getting the damage dodged causes You can see the little crystal popping up in there, and then the flower popping up in the middle. Just dead, just gone, you know. And again, you kill Amira before she kills your team, and that's how you win. A lot of these teams are so focused around building for Amira that they lose sight of everything else. Really one-sided, single-focused team, and you know you can see that it's just all it is a matter of time until we get enough pure damage and magic damage on Nebula. And then eventually we will knock down Martha and some of the pets, if you're interested. You didn't use the Dodge pet, didn't use Kane at all. In fact, we didn't even use a team pet, which is curious. Very curious, actually. But I don't know. It is what it is. 3 heroes versus, 5. You can't tell me that power level matters whenever you're dealing with situations like this. The team composition choices is way more important than actually leveling up that hero to a 5-6 star, maxing out the artifacts. It's just way more important. Obviously, these heroes being maxed plays a big part of it. The fully ascended heroes, Heidi and Aurora. Obviously, in a full situation, you're going to want to add other heroes to this. Having 5-on-5 is a much higher chance of winning than just 3-on-5, but it's a fun little exercise. Thanks to Raven and Digital Dominance for providing me these clips. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.